Well, yeah, Christ, I saw the film last night, and I'm still pretty buzzed. I mean, my viewership is virtually zero, but if by any chance you might not have seen this film, then just don't listen to anything else in this video until you have done, because I just want to talk about this. I don't want to restrict myself. I don't want to mess about with it. In other words, there will be spoilers. I'm not going to restrain what I want to say, just because probably no one's going to watch this. If you're watching this and you've not seen the film, okay, spoilers could be happening. And you know, it's a great film. I enjoyed it. I think what's great is that I was able to see it with someone I really love. And you know, sitting there, and your loved ones next to you, and you know, she's reacting to the film, and you're kind of feeding off her energy. You're reacting to her, you're reacting to the film itself, maybe snuggling up a little. It works as a date movie, that's what I'm saying. Let's get into it itself. I mean, my goodness. This is the Japanese folder. Most of the world probably aren't going to get this. There's young Han, there's young Chu. It occurred to me, you know, this is one of those films that a lot of the audience come in knowing everything about Han Solo. Han, just let's get this straight. If you want to pronounce it Han, put an H after the A, otherwise it's Han. But okay, most people that have seen all the films, they say, oh, Han Solo, oh, he's young now, okay, but you know, okay, some guys on the internet have been talking about, oh, well, we just saw Han Solo die in The Force Awakens. So that's a real spoiler for us, because even though he's happy now, we know he's going to die. Forget about that. You know, the new generation that's watching this, they're going to be like, oh, who is this guy? Oh, he's in real danger. Most of us know that, okay, he must survive, but for some people, some young people, they're going to be like, those bombs, they really could explode and wipe him out. Those guys with guns, they really could shoot him and he could die. They're going to feel more tension that the informed audience don't necessarily feel. On the flip side, the rest of us who have seen the other films, did I see the other films? I definitely saw A New Hope, or as we like to call it, Star Wars. I saw Star Wars, but did I see The Empire Strikes Back? I just don't remember. Did I see Return of the Jedi? I think it's one of those things that happened when I was a little boy. I was about 6, maybe. Must have seen them on TV and just completely forgotten about them. That's what kind of a fan I am. I just want to watch Star Wars and enjoy it. I'm not obsessed over, oh, look at that little artifact. Oh, I remember that from when he picked it up in that film. It completely goes over my head. I just want to see the picture, enjoy the picture for what it is. Well, let's get into this bad boy. Just a little bit of English for a fast ship. You've never heard of a Millennium Falcon? Some people haven't. these war scenes at the start, we find out that Han Soldier, enlisted in the Imperial Army. And he was like fighting against the rebels. And he was a pilot. We don't see any scenes of him piloting an X-Wing. But it's implied that he did, and he got kicked out for some reason. How popular would it have been for Han Solo to be flying around shooting down X-Wings? I don't think it would have been extremely popular at all. I think that's a very shady part of his past. Dum 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 ba dum dum ba dum. But he did it at some point, and I don't know if they're gonna like gloss over and say, "Oh no, he never shot anyone down." But we know he's the best pilot in the galaxy, apart from perhaps Darth Vader, aka Anakin Skywalker. Well, that's a big spoiler for some of you dudes, I guess, but okay. Oh, Darth is Anakin. Anyway, we see him kind of mud-slogging it. This is a really amazing moment when this AT-ST, it's actually not an AT-ST, it's got like an extra gun. You can just see it there, that gun. A really long cannon attached to a basic scout walker. Or should it be more? On screen it was blink and you miss it, but when you see the picture in the book, it's like, whoa, that's amazing. And there's some merchandise out there for you to buy. There's a lot of little bits like that. Okay, the merchandising machine that's rolling on. This is definitely a big advert for all that merch, but what the hell. It's cool stuff. Yeah, they get into this vertiginous train traveling through the mountains. That was kind of a weird scene. It's where they drop down onto the train. They're getting out this extremely explosive fuel, and they're gonna sell it back to an evil scar-faced crime boss. Well, he's ordered the hit. Later on, this fuel is gonna get nabbed by a kind of proto-rebel group. They're gonna use it to fuel the rebellion. It's gonna be in the X-Wings. Whoosh. And eventually you say, okay, this fuel helped us to topple the Death Star at some point. Okay, great. People aren't gonna pick up on that, but okay, that's the fuel that Han Solo delivered. Comes back around, okay, it's in Luke's X-Wing now, and that's blown up the Death Star, whatever. But this train scene, there's a point where they kind of threw the coupling, and they left some carriages behind. You start thinking, these things are magnetized, they're running on like a monorail over these mountains. You start thinking each one must have its own motor. I don't think that breaking the coupling is going to stop the guys moving. Okay, it's cinematic justice. Okay, they needed that to happen. I thought this was a powerful scene. I was thinking, if I was watching this in 3D, my stomach would be churning. It was like a killer roller coaster. And, guys died in this too. The good guys, or at least not bad guys. I'm gonna flip forward a few pages. But okay, look, you can see the early Millennium Falcon here. No two prongs. You're like, that's not the Millennium Falcon. We know the Millennium Falcon's got two prongs. You find out how those two prongs came about. You never knew they weren't two-pronged at any point, but now you know. And does this enrich the background? It certainly does. Reading some reviews online, and they're kind of saying, is it answering questions we never asked? Sure, but that's called, or what I would call, a certain richness of well, repeat myself. It's quite late here. Certain richness of the background. And the milieu. There's Lando and his droid. There's a weird relationship between those two. The female protagonist, what's her name? Kira, spelt Qi, apostrophe R-A, Kira. But okay, no, it's Keira. Good old Keir Hardy, the male version. Kira, the female version. They've just swapped letters about. It doesn't matter because we know that there's no Roman alphabet in the Star Wars universe. It's all those strange glyphs. Anyway, these two. Was there a love interest between them? Man and a droid. A female personality droid. Kira's talking to this droid that's called Leet. L337. Pronounced Leet. Or not. Anyway, that's subtext. But that's where the name comes from, an online language called Leet. Apparently, according to my web surfing. That's what I've turned up. Yeah, it's like man and droid. And Kira's talking to Leet, and Leet is like, yeah, I keep thinking, should I go for him? And then I'm like, nah. And she's like, how would that work? And the droid is like, it works. It's like, is this Lars and the real girl? I mean, that's a whole different area of the film which perhaps isn't explored, but okay. Man and droid, let nothing come between you, as my totemic, zevonic avatar might say. Yeah, like Chewie and Han pretending to be slaves. This guy is cool. Is Tobias Beckett. Not Samuel Beckett. There's Kira, kicking some ass, throwing some bombs. And there's young Han himself. He's not Harrison Ford, but for some of the audience, he's their first taste of Han Solo. Some guys haven't seen a film with Harrison Ford in it. They may be very young, but okay, this demographic will slowly grow. And this dude, okay, I don't remember the man's name, but okay, he's going to be Harrison Ford, the first Harrison Ford that they ever experienced. Well, yeah, when they're refining the fuel, they end up on this planet, and there's these weird little carved, tiny pyramids, and it's like, oh, they look mysterious, what's the real meaning? Ooh. And probably some guy has written a whole book about them, and okay, it doesn't matter, nice to glimpse the ruins, okay, it's over, guess it's out of the way. I like to see the jet bikes, and I like the idea of these sky pirates on jet bikes, harpooning things flying around, the proto-rebellion, stealing the fuel. Yeah, they get it. Sorry guys, I warned you about spoilers. Okay, the main players: Han, Chewie, Kira. That's Tobias there, pretending to be an Imperial officer just to, I don't know, steal a ship, I guess. Lando, it's such a good character. And this guy, Dryden Voss. I twigged that this was Woody Harrelson, but I didn't know this actor. I was like, is that Richard E. Grant? Anyway. Okay. There's the droid, the love bot, also a pilot. Another pilot. This little four-armed monkey dude. There's a sky pirate. Lady Proxima, she only appears for like 2 minutes. A very early crime boss, but she'll probably get her own series. Moloch, you never hear his name. And this is apparently this little dude here with the orange head. Rebolt. K. Lotiste. And Iacento. As far as I'm concerned, if they're not going to have their names said in the film, that's just Weird Alien 1, Weird Alien 2. There's not very much dialogue introducing people. Oh, hi, who are you? Oh, I'm Moloch. I mean, Lady Proxima, this strange maggot thing, she comes out of a pool. She's about 7-8 meters long. That was quite interesting. But again, it's very underplayed. She's just there and then she's gone. She's not in the picture. Never see her again. Is she wasted? I don't know. It's when there's so much detail, a lot is gonna fly by. Maybe that's to try and entice people to come back and watch it again and start obsessing over it. But I'll tell you the reason this film is bombing. It's very simple. No lightsabers. That's the bottom line. People are going to spin up a whole bunch of things like, oh, it's not Han Solo. It wasn't Obi-Wan Kenobi, but many people saw the, it wasn't Darth Vader. Many people saw the prequels. Almost my first taste of Star Wars, and I still enjoy the prequels. I like the CGI. People think Star Wars, okay, the Millennium Falcon, they think about that, but they want just a little bit of lightsabering. A Sith, okay, effing Darth Maul. Darth Maul pops in at the end. He shows his saber and then he puts it away. There's no fight with lightsabers, and that's why it's not going so well. They should have put lightsaber fight in. There's some strange kind of knives with a lightsaber edge versus an ordinary sword. Okay, that's a cool fight. Actually, it's when she battles him, when these two fight together, she's got the sword. He's got like they're almost like, I don't know, kukri, the old curved Gurkha blades with a little lightsaber edge. It's not the same. You want the lightsaber. No lightsaber, no fan base. That's it. Man, I like this guy as a villain. He was kind of young, but also psychotic, and he was ready to. The first time you see him, he just stabs someone in the chest. Okay, talking about weird aliens. This guy, they just called him Six Eye. Yeah, why bother, I like this. These two, kind of the Erica Badu-ish chanteuse, and the chanteur is just a head in a jar. It's just a fish, a singing fish. Yeah, that's great. Now, one thing I don't think there's a picture of, but there's a point where the Millennium Falcon's doing the Kessel Run, and there's a big space octopus, like a giant monster in space. I was like, Cthulhu-tan! Cthulhu-tan! Really? It's like, it's Star Wars, but with added space octopuses. In strange eons, even death may die. It's really pleasing the Lovecraftians amongst the audience. We continue. Yeah, look at the droids. All the cool droids. The stormtroopers. Again, it's when Han was stormtrooping, get Get ready, get ready. Stormtroopers coming, get ready. A little bit of Uncle Ted. This was what he was wearing, mainly. I didn't see him shooting any rebels in the face, but presumably he would certainly have done it. All the weapons they have, Han's blaster, Wookiees, all these different blaster guns. There's, what's her name? Fenny's Nest. It's like, how much of an otaku do you have to be to learn all their names? I'm guessing for this film you have to be a big otaku because not so many people are doing it. Not so many people going, bombing in the box office. But yeah, look, this is apparently an AT-DT, like an AT-ST with a big effing gun on it. For the Warhammer 40k fans, yeah, it's got to be a battle cannon, some kind of a super last cannon with a turbo laser destroyer. Okay, great. Oh yeah, and this yacht here is kind of a perpendicular space Voyager. I might do another